where crimes are baked in every show, mysteries rise and truth unfolding. Ready, set, it's time to go.
I did hear Aqua on the radio the other day, and I was just, it makes me think of you, Baker.
Yeah, because I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me anywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Ooh, whoa, ooh, whoa. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Touch me here, touch me there, hanky panky. Come
Oh,
jump
Lord.
in, bimbo friend, let us do it again. Hit the town, fool around. Let's go party. You
I
can
know.
touch, you can play. If you say I'm only yours, you can touch,
I
you
don't think
can
he's okay,
play.
guys.
That's as much as I remember
That's
from.
like the whole song. It's a good job.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a Slap A stream, which is of course Danish for relax stream. Good morning, genitals. Been a while since I could say that. I always enjoy saying hello to my genitals. Hey, Serenitive, and Danny T, Techno Stacy, uh, Hellraiser, and Esprit Fleck. Tootly pippity pip. How are we doing? And because it's just a Slap A stream, again, it's not Slap AF, it's Slap A. I don't know. I put a Q&A up. What's on your mind? Because I have that stupid house deal that fell through on my mind. So I wanted to do a stream to get away from. I'm just going through house listings all the time. Hey, Shannon, and brokenhearted anime. Unbalanced equation. What's the first thing you wash in the shower? My body? Well, I go under the water, so that's my body. Hey, Judy. Hello, Kelly. Memon Brett Smith. What up, y'all? Hey, Valhalla. And hope you got some sleep. Saw you hanging out on Rackets this morning. And congratulations to him for his 366 days of sobriety. That's good. House hunting is the worst. Well, it is because right now I called the bank to set up a meeting about financing. Haven't heard from them, so that's annoying. And the one I liked had a bid placed on it, so that's a bit annoying. And my mind is kind of made up that I want to go there. So every day is just annoying. Your butt? No, I go front into the shower and turn around. So top of my head. Your face or your butt? Well, I just go under the shower and it'll. Is today going to be like International House Hunter? I do like that series, maybe too much. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know how these ladies go into the shower. Oh, let's only do my face. Oh, I do my butt first. How do you wash your butt first? Are you? Do you do a handstand in your shower, Danny T? How would that even work? Butt first. Where am I? There am I. Is this how Danny Tease takes a shower? I don't. Is it an American thing, Danny? Seems weird to me. I might be wrong. Well, that ruined that Sunday stream. Now I have to wonder how you wash your butt first. Yo. Your husband told me he starts with his chest. No, you start with your head. Hey, Jaime. It's not German, that's for sure. No, that's way too inefficient for a German. Why are we talking about shower habits? Again, and as a man, you just have, if you're fancy, you have soap and shampoo, but most of us just have 5 in 1. Hair, face, arms, torso, bits, legs, feet. Yeah, that's what normal people. Danny T backs the dump truck up. I would think upside down showers only happen in Australia. Maybe they start with their butt. Yeah, but why did you have to make it weird? This is why we don't do Q&As, because Marissa is around. Happy Sunday to you as well, Stacy. Are you all enjoying your long Bev became person of the year vacation? Because let's face it, the reason why we didn't do the half day Thursday was because Bev took them to Sidebar and said, you guys, we can do this one of two ways. We take the day off tomorrow, Mama gets drunk. 2, Mama gets drunk, but we don't take the day off tomorrow. And they said, oh, get your claw on, girl. Why did you do that? Then it will squish it between the ball, not the balls, the buttocks. You're weird. Yeah, it's only a long weekend for non-watching trials. But you know who hasn't had a long week off? My favorite, Jennifer Caffey Daffy. Traveling back home after an intense work week. A guy behind me said he was from Worcester, Massachusetts. I turned around and asked, do you know Karen Reed? And he said, who? Never heard of her. She will continue to fade into obscurity, much to her chagrin. Justice for the face of this case, John O'Keefe. Caffey Daffy, let me tell you something, brother. When this case is over, more people will know who Karen Reed is. Then we'll know who Jennifer El Caffey Del Daffy is. In a year's time, there would probably be someone who is a little strapped for some content and say, hey, let's do a rewatch of that Karen Reed case. That was so crazy. She had to go through 2 trials to be found not guilty. And they'll watch it again. Do you know what won't happen in a year? Some people are sitting here saying, I wonder what Caffey Daffy is doing. Because when you don't have the MSP to feed you lines to say anymore, you will go bye-bye. I want to be on Court TV. Remember when you called out Court TV because they didn't have you on? Oh, I'll have to see if I still have that bookmarked. What is Baker's favorite Norm Macdonald joke? I really don't know any Norm Macdonald jokes. I think, was he in Billy Madison is the only thing I think he was one in the Billy Madison. He was one of the weirdos in the swimming pool. Really don't know him. Remember, we don't watch Saturday Night Live. We have good TV. So I don't know any of these people. But thank you, Dave. It was Grant's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Grant. Oh, for anyone who will now ask me questions about, did you see that they found out that Karen asked for the Google search, and you can hear it in the 911 call? No, you can't. Well, you can hear it in the voicemail. No, you can't. I heard the one Grant had tried to fix so you could clearly hear. She said, "Has to Google in the code." You couldn't hear shit. And everyone who is peddling that story right now, and especially because it's the antis, shows you how bad the Commonwealth is doing. Because kind of like when people say, why don't they ask about the second shoe? The second shoe is clearly a different shoe. Well, are you telling me that lawyers that cost probably 3-4 million for the work they have done totally missed that point? I know last year when there was a shadow falling on it, it looked dark, but I bet you they looked at the shoe in real life and said, yeah, that's his shoe. But do you think the Commonwealth, with all of their resources and their shitty case where they have to boost it by putting on that we play 5 clips every day thing, that they didn't try and find some incriminating evidence in her voicemails? I love that it's the new anti talking point because they have nothing. But imagine being so stupid to think Grant could figure anything out. Oh, I can clearly hear it. You can hear. Maybe because he speak je suis un peu slow in French, he can understand it, but the rest of the world will agree that you can't hear anything. It's these people. Oh, can I find the one Jennifer Caffey Daffy? No, of course I don't have it bookmarked anymore. No, I don't have it. That's a good one. Well, sometimes you lose some. Sometimes I've had a lot of problems with Twitter. I don't know if it's because of that fire they had that everything went a little wonky. I couldn't hear it said any of that. No, it just says. Do the Q&A question go into chat or a different place? I don't know. I just put up a Q&A. Ask someone who streams. I don't know anything. I didn't think she sounded like that. I never listened to her garbage, but I imagine she sounds like an old lady with a smoker's cough. Caffey Daffy, yeah, she sounds a little rough. But she streams with people who sounds worse, so it'll even out. Yeah, like Grant just discovered the smoking gun in Hoslong controversy. Yes, especially when you see we're 21 days into the case. They have one witness left. And all of a sudden, oh my, 3 years later, we found it. No. Aperture sponsored the Massachusetts bar thing. Bev got the award at Norfolk County Bar Party. Yeah, it's 2 different parties. I mentioned it the other day that I got it wrong. On Friday, I had a stream. Hey, Spire. Well, I'm glad you're here too, Tracy D. I was getting a bit bored, and I was stressing myself out. And I had some not so nice, well, not so nice, but not a pleasant message. So a friend of ours, Little D, isn't well. She could use your thoughts and prayers right now. It goes into chat. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's any different. It just says make a and I can then open the questions. And Valhalla says, "Is it true Sweden is the superior Scandi country in every possible way measurable?" Valhalla, I am right now opening Avis and ordering a car for next week. Oh, the week after. We're still on Sunday. And then you can stand outside with your ghetto blaster playing music for me, and I won't come out. But you put it in twice, so it works now. Because I have a question app or thingy I can open, so I don't know how you do it. Hello, Tammy Lee. No, it's a Q. If you put it in the Q&A, it's I think you can change the live chat to the Q&A. Then it'll pop on mine when questions come in. Can't think of a better name. How did you first get interested in being on YouTube? Oh, it's a new question. I first got interested in being in YouTube when I lost my dad, because all of my family has moved away from the town. I stayed back here, was the son who stayed back, helped out and kept the family going down here. And then I lost my mom, lost my dad within 4 years. And there was an election coming up, and we always used to talk politics. So I didn't have anyone to talk politics to. And then I watched Razor Fist, and he said the words, "If you can't find it on YouTube, make it yourself." And the only Danish channel that covered politics were two people sitting in a room with really bad mics talking about, everything was wrong, and I'm not that much of a conspiracy thing, so I thought I'll do it. And then I did that for from September till February, just in Danish, covering the election, interviewing politicians. And when that was done, I was trying to keep it going, but there's no interest when there's no election going on. So I was like, nah, I'll try doing something. And then I was sitting in Dave's chat one day and talking about how great I am. And he said, "You want to come on and prove it?" And I said, "No." And I had to come on and talk about the Danish justice system. And he said, "Oh, you speak English, okay?" And I said, "Oh, gracias." And he said, "That's not English." And I said, "I don't know. Jamie told me to say it." And after that, he said, "Do you want to help me cover a case down in Texas?" And I said, "Yes." And then he abandoned me, and I stole Jamie. And we got so bored after covering that case that we started covering the the Bradley Yawn case. And that's my first standalone case. So that's how I got interested. How full is the swear jar? The only thing is I can't pull them up. The swear jar is about halfway full. You have plenty of room. What was the last tattoo you got? That was my Nordic goddess of love. I can't show it properly. My Nordic goddess of love named Freya. Do you regret starting to cover Karen Reed trial, especially when it's been going on for years? No. Well, yes. Because one of the pitfalls of being a YouTuber is that you become this YouTuber. Kind of like if you're talking about comic books, you can only talk about comic books. If you talk about TV series, you can only talk about TV series. And if you talk about court cases, you can really be pigeonholed into being this YouTuber. I think I've been doing pretty well by constantly shifting in and out of the Karen Reed stuff. I haven't become a Karen Reed channel. when Karen Reed is hopefully done in 2 weeks and I come back from America, I'll be on to the next one. I'll find some weird lady who unalived someone down in Florida, or a foreigner who stabulated someone in Wisconsin, and I'll keep trucking along. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the one with the most views, but I have a pretty decent following. I can pick up 90 people on a nothing stream on a Sunday afternoon, morning, your time. That's pretty good for my level, and I'll keep going. Hopefully, a lot of these Karen Reed people will become interested in watching more true crime stuff. There will be more in and out, probably. Um, I hope that I can keep building on it, but I'm glad I'm doing it. It's grown my channel immensely because of my panel shows. Uh, I have a lot of people coming by saying hello now that I never knew. Put my name out there so I can sometimes be lucky enough that the big guys want to play with me, and that's fine. But I was actually thinking about tomorrow looking into how things are going with Courtney Clenny. But I kind of have this allergy against the big cases because a lot of people are saying, "Hey, are you going to do Coburger? Are you going to do this and that?" And I really like just trucking along and do the, "Hey, I'm a weird lady who stuffed my boyfriend in a suitcase" thing, because there's so many. The thing about Karen Reed is it's oversaturated, because when we did the first trial, we had 5 channels who did it a lot. Now, because the numbers are there, 10, 15, 20 channels are fighting over the same amount of viewers. So it gets a little bit. I like doing it. I like the crew I hang with. Love you people who hang with us, because it makes it a little more interesting. But it's not like it's going to grow my channel like the first year. So if it's that what you're in for, no. But no, I like Karen Reed have been good to me, but the thing is, it's also very, very long, and I hate long cases. I like 1.5, 2 week cases is my favorite, because you get so bored. And I have seen the entire trial the first time. Now it's the second time. It's tough sometimes. What was my first stream? My first live stream was me accidentally hitting live and turning it off after 5 minutes. And then my buddy called me and said, "Were you live?" My first real live stream was, I think I did like an election night something, and no one showed up. Do Gretstein cover? No. If you could travel to any time period in a time machine, when would you choose and why? Right now, because we are at the pinnacle of human society. We have the best society that has ever been in history. And I don't want to go back to the Middle Ages. My immune system couldn't handle the diseases they had back then. So I am perfectly fine. I'm not a person who lives in the past. I don't. I can read a book about the past if I wanted to learn about it. Who would you say is your favorite mod and your favorite angel? My favorite mod has. And for my angel, I have to say, so those are my favorite mod and angel. Funny that it's not the same person. When and what is your next Lego build? My next Lego build is, I don't know. I haven't. I have a few stacks. I don't know. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, so you Yanks aren't doing anything anyway, and hey, I might do something tomorrow. Sean of Potentially Criminal introduced me. Thank you so much, Sean. Oh, you miss me. Well, whenever you show up, you just run away without saying goodbye. Am I on a loop? if I am, it's Rumble who put me on a loop because I can't do anything on a loop. It's really spotty if the ask some. Well, let's just F this ask anything because it takes me away from the main one. You just, if you have a question, put a Q or because this is annoying. Stupid system. Big red question mark or the some Qs or something. I'm big time follower, and I'll see you next week at court. I hope you go to the Cape or Salem restaurants on every corner on the North Shore. Can't wait to welcome you. Well, sadly, I can't come to Massachusetts because my liver couldn't handle it. Gerda, thank you for all you do. No, thank you for coming watching us all the way from South Africa. I have a lot of patience. Hey, Dizzy Grenade, thank you for 12 months. A lot of Can Read streamers are saying on lives they want to stream with you. I know it helped Runkle out, and I'd love to see you stream with Jerks, Clara, JFK, etc. I've streamed three times with Mike. The Clara, I had him on during the first trial, I believe. I know who JFK is, but I had never talked to him. But again, my DMs and my email are open. I hope Clenny gets locked up for the rest of her life. How is that for an innocent until proven guilty? Well, let's just hope that the prison, they have already been bad to her, but oh my God, any guy who pays money to these OnlyFans girls, look at her. I know that it's a starch-rich diet in prison, but no filters, no fillers, no whatever she does, lighting. Oh my God, she's not that pretty. And I know, well, her diet isn't what it is. No, a lot of Coke and a lot of no filters does that to you. Really, guys, stop paying money to Insta girls. You may want to visit the federal courthouse in Boston because it's an amazing design. The front of the building is on the harbor. I would like to get to the Northeast. When I become YouTube rich, I'm going to do like a 2-week vacation in America and do more of a road trip, maybe do like a Northeast, middle, and then it's a lot of driving, and I have a bad back, so driving is a little bit annoying. But I actually thought about it this year, doing the fly into Chicago and drive down, or fly into Newark and drive down. But maybe if I had a week extra and I had a lot of money, I could drive and do 2-3 meetups on the way. I would like that. End up in Knoxville. If there's a Dollywood 3.0, who knows? Hitting the mute button. Who hit the... Oh, did I do it when I... Well, what I wanted to say about my favorite mod. So, and that person knows it. Do you think the CV will show how John was hit before the arrest case? No, I actually don't think that they will opine on anything how he got hit, because the person we haven't heard from yet is he is a crash reconstructionist, but I think they will never talk about it. I think they will talk about, oh, you can see this is when she hits the body, and they'll leave it at that because they tried to change where his body was. In the first trial, they had this something between 8 and 20 feet up on the lawn. Now, the glass found in the street. Brandy caught that one. I was thinking it was weird. He kept talking about the street. I think we also talked about it. Why is he kept saying street? Because that would have been plowed and everything. But Brandy caught it and said, well, they're trying to shift it so the jury will think his body was found on the street. And I think Brandy is a smart cookie. What's an angel? An angel is what I call the people who have joined me for my Saturday streams. My Saturday streams called Stab Your Day, and I had a long period where I had a lot of people who stream, people who don't stream, to come on and join me as angels. I haven't done many Stab Your Days because life, y'all. But I liked it because it's kind of a way to maybe if you're a new, smaller creator and you want to come on and kind of promote yourself, you can come and show. I have a little bit of an audience. You can come and show, hey, I'm this type. If you are sitting at home thinking, I could do this, that idiot Dane can do it. So can I. Then I had people on so they can test it out, because a lot of people don't know how intimidating it is to begin with, that you have this little white light pointing at you, and a lot of people freezes when they have to be on. So it was kind of like a way, because if you stop talking on a panel show and you have me and Mo and Jamie on, no problem. I'll find a funny video about someone smuggling an ant in his pant, and Mo will talk for 20 minutes about how she would like to dress up like an ant, and everything will be fine. It doesn't matter. But if you're on your own stream and you're sitting here saying, we all know, he said, Jamie and Marissa. Thank you, Iris, for 19 months. But yeah, that's not always easy to watch, but it was more so you can kind of feel how it was to be on screen, because some people will instantly dislike it because it feels intimidating, especially when you see the number. Well, my guests can't see it, but I have a little number in the corner saying that we are this amount of people right now. And I remember my first stream, I think I had like 12 people watching at the time. And I was thinking, oh my God. And I had to do it in English. And Jamie was making fun of me in our private chat. She was constantly yelling at me, telling me to do better. Jamie is really mean. It's not so much that she calls me stupid and fat. It's more that she threatens me with physical violence. But you get used to it with Jamie. But then when it ticked from 12 people to 20 people, you're sitting there constantly looking at it and think, oh, 20 people are watching me now. Oh, and yeah, it's a weird feeling. I never forced you, Sue. Hey, R23H. Hey, Amy's Positive Pathways. You are a super small creator. Well, I'm a big fat creator. But yeah. How is the expert? Is he okay? Haven't heard. I never hear from him. He'll write me at 4 a.m. and say, "Hey, buddy, was just thinking about you," and I think, "Oh, that's nice," and then I write back, and he'll answer me a week later. He's the expert. Hey, the ADHD. What are we talking about today? Absolutely nothing. It's a slap A stream. Slap A is Danish for relax. I'm worried for Karen. The prosecution have put on nothing. Well, that should be a good thing for Karen, because I know everyone will say, well, the jury is tainted, and no, I have a hard time seeing how you can do that. You can fix the foreman. The best you can do is fix a hung trial. It's really hard to fix a guilty trial. Jen the Couch Fairy. So hey, also, so don't know the subject, but hang out a bit. There's no subject. It's just nothing. Yeah, Sue, you made the Sue bird. Can I speak American yet? Well, I do speak a little bit American, but every time I do, I got complaints it's racist. Oh, you went to dinner with the expert last night. Did he have a big poo and then cried and then was everything was fine? Well, that's nice of him. Normally, I would be watching Formula One as well, but the channel that shows it wanted to show football instead, so they put it on a channel that I don't have. Pretty annoying. So I'll have to wait to see who won Monaco till later. Think the defense is about to bring it. Well, again, at this point, what if any proof do we have that Karen struck John O'Keefe with a car? We have had. No, I'm thinking that we have had Scotty Bellow and Dr. Wolf both testify that his injuries is not consistent with being struck by a car, more consistent with just a slip and fall, and he has injuries to his face that couldn't be from the impact with his ground. So how are they going to explain it? Slap A. Yeah. SLAP is slap, which means weak, or AF means off. So it's relax off, kind of, or week off, which means relax in Danish. Don't think about it. Hello, Debbie Blair. You moved yesterday, so today and sit and do nothing and enjoy the 60-degree weather. The reason why I went live is because it's been raining all day. It's so cold I had to close my windows, which I normally always have open from April till late November. It's so miserable here today. If we survive Florida, we'll see you in Tennessee. I hope to do that. Hey, America. Tu parles pas français? Je parle pas français un peu. Hey, Just Joe. I'm noticing some trap muscles. How's the workout going? I'm struggling on trial days, can't get off the couch. I'm talking to my daughter about this because she started working out and she has a hard time going to the gym because, well, I just walk instead. And I said, no, it's really, really good for you because she has trouble sleeping at night and stuff like that. But do it in the morning if you have the opportunity to do it in the morning. Eat your cereal, drink your cup of coffee, and then have a time slot where you say, okay, I do it from 9:30 till 11:30, whatever fits, because then I know my bag is packed. Every time I come home from the gym, I empty out the stuff I need to take out. If I need to do legs the next day, I put in my flat shoes. If I need to do chest, I'll put my my elbow wraps on in there. So it's done the night before. I get up, I do all the things that I do on the computer. When it's 9:15 and they haven't called from court, so I don't have to do an emergency call in, get up, brush my teeth, and head to the gym. Every single day, do the same thing because it's a chore to begin with, but then it just turns into, oh yeah, by the way, it's gym time. But it's hard. You have to do it. As I said, so I do it twice a week for the first 4 weeks, so it gets to be a thing. But it's a thing. But some trap muscles. Yeah, traps are sometimes good. Put a 1 in chat if you're coming to Dollywood. I don't know. I've been there. I think the jury will want to hear some defense, though. I think they want to hear it as well. You know what, Valhalla? I can put up a poll because I've learned from your channel polls are needed. I'm just annoyed with them every time I get into a stream and people has a poll up. But I'm a bad grifter. Yeah, well, at us, it's normally at it's TV3 Plus, but because of football, they moved it to TV3, and that's the channel where they normally run all their how to get teen people pregnant on television shows. I don't want to watch those. Will you make a new exclusive emoji for Rumble members, like a link to your OnlyFans? I don't know how to put a link in an emoji, but I put a lot of emojis into it because I found out you can make a channel and put emoji. I made emojis that I don't have on YouTube. So hey, Rumblers, thank you for joining. And finally, I did something for Rumble. How do I feel about cats? Love them. They take mice. Love. Well, if that's not mean cats, my grandmother had a cat that always bit my feet. But love cats, and it's a dual purpose animal because you can have it to take the mice, and then you can fight Satan, if you know what I mean. In Dutch, if you go to a doctor and say my is, yeah, slap means as well. Well, so do I, Amy's positive pathway. You need a poll today. Oh my. Started going back to the gym after a year of not going, but I'm more motivated now. If you have a friend or you can make friends with I used to go to a strongman gym, really good for motivating you to do crazy feats of strength. That's where I had my 1,100-pound leg press, was in that gym. Nowadays, the knees are getting weak. I can't get, I think, like 800 on a good day, but really good if you wanted to really power through. But I like to go to the gym, and then you have that body that says, "Oh, how are you doing?" And you can have a little talk now and again and have a cup of coffee. So I went back to a commercial gym, and it's not the same level of intensity training, but I like that camaraderie we had. You have 4 or 5 people you always say hey to, so try and make friends. The gift emoji doesn't show up in the chat window, so the comic tubers can't see it. Yeah, well, can't they see it on the little flippity fluff down there when I share the chat? If we go to Amsterdam next year, there will be some people that don't come back home. I would like. Jamie's been to Amsterdam. Do I still look after the puppy? I was actually supposed to look after the puppy 2 weeks ago. One of the puppies 2 weeks ago, but then they canceled because of sickness. Amsterdam is way easier to get to for me, so that would be nice. 5 hours by car, depending on traffic. I think it's like 8-9 hours for me. So it wouldn't be that hard to get there. Hey, Luna. Just flying to the US cost you a month pay. A Euro trip would be cool, though, to be honest. I actually locked, well, I don't know if locked out or it was, but I'm paying less than 1,000 Danish more this year, and then I got upgraded to premium economy. And I even think the trip is shorter, even though I have to go to Finland to begin with. The only problem, I have 40 minutes between landing and departing in Finland. It's going to be some running around Helsinki airport, and I don't know my way around Helsinki. Never been to Finland. Well, I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the music. Say the ladies are insane. There. Talking about insane. Let's see some insane stuff.
That is unusual. You know, Richard, I guess you mean that as nice, but fuck off. You know, I mean, it's none of your business. Who are you to tell me what to do? And I don't really want you to tell me how I look because I feel good and I'm getting stronger every day. So politely, fuck off. All right. So this is important to me because too many people in the public don't understand what's going on. And so the algorithm, whenever the human beings that programmed it, that is unusual.
That was Plevin telling someone who was just saying, hey, you look better. I hope you feel better. That he should F off because, as we know, Plevin has stage 4 lung C metastasized to his spinal cord, I think he claims. I know that took my mom in less than half a year, so good fighting, 4 years, still strong. So he got mad that someone said, hey, you look good, because that's how you react when some people wish you well. Don't come to Amsterdam, North and South Holland this year. It will be traffic jams, NATO conference, and many other. I thought we had the NATO conference. Maybe next year. So he has to put prescriptions in the screen. Yeah, probably because a lot of people are saying, I just, yeah. Hey, some people, my mom had a friend who had terminal big C since, I think she talked about it the first time in 1989, and she passed away 2 years after my mother. Yeah, we just don't understand. He is a horrible person. Sounds like roid rage. I think it's just that he is an insufferable cunt. Spelled with a K, not the C. Because I had him on my stream, and he acts that way. He is a miserable human being. And again, it's kind of like the same where people are with John O'Keefe. You can't say that he might have been a little flirtatious with the young women in Aruba because he's dead. We can't say things bad about Plevin because he's sick. Well, being sick doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. I feel bad for you that you're sick because I helped my dad with my mom. It wasn't fun. But my mom didn't get mean. My mom got confused, got sad. I've had plenty of nights where I had to sit there with her doing that. But she didn't get mean if someone said, oh, you look good today. I hope you're feeling better. She said thank you, because that's what normal human beings do. Even though you might feel, hey, leave me alone, you a-hole. I had a hard time when everyone came up to me and said condolences, because I had when my dad passed away, I was right by him. We were actually going into the doctor's office, but well, we didn't make it. And someone who used to work with him, he was an EMT, came up to me and started talking to me. And I didn't know this lady, and my dad had just passed away, and she just wanted to be nice to me, and I just wanted to push her away and say, could you please? Because I was thinking, oh, I remember how much I had to do, because when my mom passed, my dad called me and said, I can't do it. You're going to be the one telling the family. And I said, okay. And I was the one who had to call all my siblings and cousins and say, yeah, pretty bad day today. And I was thinking, it's been less than 4 years. I had to do all of that again. And I am the one who's going to tell the family. That's not fun. And this lady was just being nice. And instead of saying, get the F out of here, I said, thank you so much. It's nice of you. Oh, you found he was a great guy. I'm glad to hear it. Because that's what normal people do. Thank you, Anime, for a rumble rant about my drift emoji. And I don't know if it showed up, but thank you so much for the rumble rant. I don't know if anyone has seen that that thing that Ricada has that can read voices. That's people are starting to ask for that. It can be fun, but it can also be a little distracting, I find. Yes, I just finished all the new episodes yesterday. Really annoying. I need more episodes. You're already in Dollywood. Well, see you in a week and a half. Yeah, when it hit the spine, I think she had like a month and a half. Du er også dansker, som du kan se. Hvordan kan jeg blive jurymedlem i Danmark? Du kan ikke blive jurymedlem, men du kan blive lægmand. I 2026, du skal gå ind på din kommunes hjemmeside og søge på lægdommer. Og der vil der højst sandsynligt være sådan en liste, du kan skrive dig op til, og så vil de kontakte dig. Vi vælger ny jury i 26 og starter den nye periode i 27 og starter den nye periode i 28. Så du skal tilmelde dig i foråret 27, og så vil du få besked i efteråret 27, om du skal starte januar 28. Men gør det. Det er en spændende opgave, og det er interessant at pommeren til. I just did it in Danish. It's easier to explain. Thank you. Thank you. That's on Prime. Text to speech is distracting, and people do not very nice stuff with it most often. Yeah, it's a different audience he have than I have. Let's say that it's a little more raucous. Ikke noget problem. Og hvis du har nogle spørgsmål om det, så skriv til mig på min enten DM på Twitter, eller send mig en e-mail. Det er et fantastisk job, og de er søde og rare ved dig. It's not gobbledygook, it's Danish. Do you know what gobbledygook is? It's my good friend John Del Petro and his new... This is the part of Karen Reed's Lexus that struck John O'Keefe in the right eye. She backed up and clipped him with the right arm, a tail light, right knee banged, and top right circle, caught his right eye, sending him falling backwards. She hit him and left him. This guy is supposedly a journalist. So, again, he's saying John O'Keefe and now we can't, but then he has, because that's John O'Keefe is part giraffe. I don't know. How can you put this on? I write a lot of dumb stuff on the Twitch thread, but hey, I'm a chaos clown. Well, Squabby, thank you so much for a Rumble rant. I am always thankful. And actually, thank you all for joining up over on. I haven't done Rumble in a long time because I really didn't feel it didn't go nowhere. But now we have 10 people, well, 9, I'm one of them, but 9 people watching over there. And I think I had like 30 people the other day. That was wonderful. John was at least 9 feet tall, at least. That man isn't a journalist, he's a scumbag. Well, his wife is the scumbag because she was allegedly the one who fudged the numbers. He said so. I always love when you have to chuck your wife in front of you, because that shows integrity as a man. Oh, I'm so sorry. My daughter had breast cancer, then showed up for Halloween dressed up as Kojak. No excuse to be an a-hole. Miss Disorder, this is the way you should be. If you have the energy and because it also makes it easier for those around you. Because it's not fun knowing people who had the big C. So you don't need to be a bad person just because you got it. A problem with John O'Keefe being hit in the head by the spoiler is it would have knocked him down right there. Being thrown depends on most of the force hitting him low. As hashtag physics. The problem with it is that people are stupid if they want to believe that happened. Because if the impact that's strong enough to throw him 8 feet into the air would have fractured more than his orbital bone. I just don't understand why no one is questioning where he came from. How he is in court every week in court TV. I've been following Karen Reed for 2 years, and this guy just popped out of nowhere. As I said earlier, this case has really gotten some numbers, and people like numbers, so they will try and get in on the grift. Big Dog. Don't be mean to Plevin. He's currently and still pursuing his degree in how to be a journalist. He's actually moved on. He's a writer now. I'm still waiting for his second book. And for anyone asking, I might have been spreading false news that anonymous Massachusetts lawyer was Plevin. He's absolutely not Plevin. They just write the same way, have the same points, and one time it kind of looked like Plevin answered a question I asked that guy. So I believe that, of course, this guy is Plevin, and he forgot to switch his account when he answered me. But it's totally not true. It's two different people. Because someone anonymous Massachusetts lawyer chooses to go online and fight with Benro every day. Can confirm, even when you put the rand on the bottom of the screen, the emoji does not show up. Only us Rumblers can see it. We're special. You are special. Special. Are you talking about De Petro? John De Petro. He's an a-hole. No, the Massachusetts lawyer is absolutely not Grant. He didn't pop out of nowhere per se. He's been a journalist and radio host for years in the area, but he got really bad records, so most locals dismiss him. Okay, I know he was fired for fudging some numbers or doing something, and then he blamed his wife for it. Grant is the one who always get in. That De Petro dude missed a week. Great excuse, I know. Why Grant can even be applying for them? Because I get that, well, you can be a civilian journalist. I am technically a journalist because I cover news, so that's enough. But I think the rest of them, you have to register in some way to be a lawyer, be a journalist. And I don't know if Grant has done that. I don't know. I just know that Grant's an idiot, and he shouldn't be allowed in court because I know free speech and all, but oh my God, that guy is stupid. That's my take on him. But he seems really, really dumb. I was just telling my husband yesterday that now anyone can write a book and self-publish on Amazon. My husband had a Stephen King style dream, and I told him he should write a book. Well, just do me a favor. Get someone to read it before he publishes it, because a lot of people have this great idea. My problem is I can write kids' books because I can't build a plot. I can't figure out 25 different names. So I'm not good at that part. But the problem is they're writing in their head, and they just tell the story, and then it doesn't flow when you read it. That's one of the big problems with Plevin's book is he think, oh, I'm going to be like Tolkien and put 3 different side plots running at one time, and it's going to be very interesting. The problem is he has 3 different side plots. All of them are boring AF. So it doesn't really help. They don't take YouTubers as reporters in MA. Well, I think Grant, didn't he write for some Free the Weed or something program? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he did some of that. I'm all for weed, but I hear smells of weed really bad in court. Not a professional. It's the same. Back when I was in city council, I smoked a lot, especially around when we had to sit and do the budgets. I was smoking a whole heck of a lot. But you take a shower before you go anywhere, and you don't put on the same clothes you have had on before, because there's nothing worse than if you just put on that shirt you had on 2 days in a row and you had that sour smoke smell. So again, it's the same. Even if it was allowed somewhere to smoke in a restaurant these days, and I wouldn't do it. You can do it in the bars where in Denmark it's allowed in bars of a certain size to smoke. But imagine, kind of like back when I was a kid, you could smoke in the airplanes. It was no one. I don't think most people would do it today, because you're a considerate smoker, if you can say it in that way. And that's why I don't get this. If you go to court, first of all, you don't stoke up in the car over there, because you don't weed and drive. Second of all, if you weed, don't do it in the same clothes that you're gonna bring everywhere. Don't wear the same clothes every single. He has one jacket and he's wearing it constantly. Again, if it's legal and everything, hey, you do you. But then take that jacket and put on a hanger and put it outside at night, so at least it can get some air through it, so it doesn't have that 5-day smell of smoke. Be a little bit considerate. Did he make Lefty? Well, that's something, I guess. He changes his belt stringer sometimes. Yeah, he's actually been with song belt a few times lately. So maybe there's no more shoestring in his house. It's just, again, I'm no saint. I have done my my internet's slowing down. I've done bad stuff in my life, but again, why flaunt it like that? It's not allowed in trains for a long time now, but the last time I got on one, we had a chain smoker in the last car, and I had to go out the way. It was only 30 minutes, but that dude stank. Yeah, and you can have that. I'm a party smoker. If I drink, I smoke. But when I wake up in the morning and smell my clothes, yeah, it'll go into the washer real quick, because it sticks in your clothes. And then we have some guy at the gym as well. He smells like he always dries his clothes in a damp cellar. It's always, you have that little moldy smell, and then he has tons of BO. It's so horrible. Whenever he starts training, I'm going, because you can taste him. It's that bad. It's not the same weed as Farm from 70s. Well, if they are splicing it with something, can't they splice it with something that makes it smell less like? Ugh. By the way, tomorrow is Memorial Day, and I don't know. I don't know why I started saying that, but tomorrow, I don't know if it's because it's Memorial. I'm an idiot. I say stuff and then I start thinking. Tomorrow, it's because it starts with Mo. Tomorrow it is Memorial Day, but Mo will be covering the Lori Vallow Daybell. Kind of a cray lady. Still, I could potentially fix her. It'll be at, I believe, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you haven't caught up on the Daybell crap because you've been following Karen Reed, I'm pretty sure one of the mods can share a link to Mo's channel because she will do that tomorrow, I believe, at 10. So you should go and follow her because Mo is the most naturally gifted comedian on the planet. Hey, Eddie. 14-hour drive to Dollywood. I'm going to skip that, but have a great time. I'm going to fly 27 hours. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. No, Eddie, I hope I can find somewhere and meet you another time. And none of my mods are here, so no one shares it. They don't like Mo. Beef confirmed. If you go to a dispensary, you can get very low THC pot on request. Interesting. We don't have that. But what we do have is a really bad grifter, which is me. Because I never do the stuff I need to do to grift on this channel. I made a poll today. I hate polls on streams. I don't talk about my merch. I don't talk about... I'm just appreciative of whatever, if something falls off the wagon and lands on my... But not everyone has it as I have it, because someone haven't really figured out the grift yet. And you know, I have this special girl in my life, Twisted Strategies. I'm trying to figure out other options to keep the channel afloat, like merch. Other options. Yesterday, the channel made around $40 for more than 7 hours of work. It happens. Today as well, and we are 4 hours in. I do my best to keep us going, but lately it's been really difficult. Most of them only recognize and give shout-outs to the members of or patrons. Not every loyal subscribers can afford to be that. Oh, yeah, I'll give shout-outs to whoever I see in chat. But I feel for my girl, Twisted. She started her YouTube channel. And it's really expensive running a YouTube channel because you need... Well, you probably have your computer to begin with. You need a camera. Well, if you have a laptop, it has a camera in it. It'll be shitty video, but hey, you don't need more than that. You can just be off camera because there's nothing... I could just sit here and be an avatar in the background and talk about, hey, hi. But if you want to do what I do and have guests on and stuff like that, yeah, you need StreamYard. StreamYard is like $33 a month if you don't pay yearly. And then you need a little bit of electricity and you need some electrolytes to drink while you're streaming. And this lady is constantly like another DSP sitting there crying about, does she know making $40 a day is actually pretty good YouTube payment? Remember, the average income for an OnlyFans girl is $150 a month. So making $40 is actually pretty good. I love how these people have this expectancy that because they are turning on the camera, they should get paid what a normal person who flips burgers at McDonald's do. I can't take the entitlement. I hate these people. There's like a dozen people in the poll going to Dollywood. Yeah, I forgot. I couldn't really tell how many it is. So I just said yes and no. Maybe she could run another fake fundraiser. Yeah, that's another thing. I've seen 2 fundraisers for Karen Reed, I think. One of them is just directly to her. Can't remember what site it is she uses. The other one is the one where you can win prizes and stuff like that. And I don't even know if it's two separate. But on the other side, there's 45 people grifting constantly for fundraising. Remember when the Couch Potato did you can buy a certified John O'Keefe blue T-shirt, and it's only gonna be, how much was it? $35 plus shipping or something like that for a T-shirt. I have a merch store. I don't have I think I make like $3 a T-shirt that's sold. It's just for fun. And I think my T-shirts are like $22 or something, and it's expensive. I know. I wish I could have someone do drop shipping by home printing or something, keep it cheaper, but that's the drop shipping prices you get. But I think she wanted $35, and no, there won't be any money to anyone. It's just for the T-shirt. Go F yourself. Fucking cheaters. Going to Sicily. Oh, my dad's been to Sicily. I've never been there. Have you reached out to Betero? It could be interesting conversation contrasting the difference in judicial system. I have had Mark on 4 or 5 times, I believe. We have a good discussion every time. Maybe the trip fund coffee. Maybe trip fund for coffee so you can run to connection to. I'm not, trip to fund so I can drink coffee. I get free coffee on the plane. Hey, I'm a famous YouTuber, so I'll get coffee. Well, not because I'm a famous YouTuber, but because it's British Airways. They always serve coffee. And I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours to fly to Finland. But thank you so much, came out. I'll use this to buy some sugar. Correction, the fundraiser wasn't fake. She just didn't say the money was going directly in her pocket. Hey, I think Mo has a 401k. No, not a 401k. Whatever it's called when it's a fundraiser, a non-taxable thing to sustain her life. That's, yeah. Maybe it's her first job and the expectations are too high. No, her first job, I'm told, I don't know, but it's something like this. If you take a hint, I've been... No, not a barber. Not a barber. But that's what I've been told that she used to be. Well, I don't see how many. I haven't closed it, so I don't know how many has voted yet. Hey, Mark Baumeister, which means builder. Well, master builder. I really like Mo's cadence. I really like Mo's humor. Mm-mm-mm. Ding, 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 ding. John Dillerman, PA. Nah, maybe not John Dillerman. But no, I was told she used to work with that. But now she's a big old YouTuber and needs funding. And again, you should just be lucky that anyone wants to follow you. It's the, what do you call it? the entitlement of some people that they think, hey, I'm so special. I turned on my camera. You better come look at me. Hey, now you're looking. You better pay me. You should just be more than lucky that someone wants to just hang out in your chat and say, you didn't know you're really stupid. Kind of like what Jamie does to me all the time. It's yeah. Well, it's German and means master builder, Baumeister. Can the John O'Keefe family still sue Karen when she's not convicted? Yes, it's a civil litigation. It's a total different justice system. Most likely, they will win if there's no if she doesn't get convicted and they don't have any more proof of how she did it than what we've seen. Maybe it's not that easy to get convicted, but we saw it with OJ. He was found not guilty, and then they found him guilty in civil court. So yes, they can still sue, but should I be frank? Should I be? Yeah, why shouldn't I? I think Peck and Paul are so big a-holes that they will, no matter what, try and squeeze the single last cent out of Karen Reed, if they can. I feel sorry for their loss. No one should lose a brother and a sister or a son or a daughter. But as we talked about earlier, gracious, even in tragedy, that's the way you should be. But these two people who couldn't really help John out when he was alive are now banking on him to get them well paid for the rest of their life. Again, kind of like we separate the artist from the art, we should separate the tragedy from the person, because these two MFers, I don't like them. She's not going to have any money after the defense of this case, so it's not going to matter. No, but they can gain her wages in all perpetuity then, right? The hate for Karen is a real turnoff. Yes, and it really, it's despicable. Again, you can hate her because you believe she did this. But when you at the same time have sat through two trials, again, I imagine we are done with the state's case next week, potentially Wednesday. And we have spent, I think we spent 32 days the first trial, and we have spent 20 days this time. And all we have gotten is John O'Keefe is dead. Karen was angry at him after he died. You can't trust anyone at the MSP or the CPD or in the McAlbert family. That's what we've learned from this case, because there's no facts backing up what they claim. So why aren't they sitting in the courtroom and hearing what we're hearing? I know you can be deafened by hatred, but at what point are you looking at Lally or Hank Brennan and say, why don't you just prove it? You claimed you had all of this evidence. Why don't you just prove she did it? And they can't, because they don't have any evidence. As a grieving mother or brother, I would turn my hatred to these people who strung me along and claimed that they could win this case. I would hate them more. Hey, Southern Red Sox, welcome. I can't believe they haven't at least questioned the prosecution's narrative after hearing and seeing the evidence presented in this case. Yeah, I know that they have gotten close with Jen, and she is she's kind of like the snake that seduced Ava, who will whisper you sweet nothing in your ear and you'll believe her. But did you know, actually, in another religion, it's not a snake, but it's a camel with no legs. Interesting. How many sidebars for Tuesday do we think? I'm betting a lot. Yes, there will be a lot, especially if he's done with direct and we get to cross. There will be a lot. Will the federal case ever be shared? No. It's a federal case. It's under lock and key. Nothing will come out from that. We don't even know, because what they were told that they could say, according to Chief Rafferty, who has now resigned, is the investigation into the murder of John O'Keefe has ended. But what does that mean? Is it looking at Karen Reed for the potential murderers? Have they moved it on to another investigation into the conspiracy to blame Karen Reed, or have they just went back to Quantico and doesn't look at anything? We don't know, because it's the feds, and the feds don't talk. And that's why when people are saying with so much certainty that, hey, it's over, and everyone was listening to Dr. Wolf when he said, well, the DOJ got us posted because they were following along in the first trial. But we were told by every single auntie that the FBI had ended it way before that. And then they ended it again in March, April. One thing you should learn: the feds are always looking. 2, never trust the feds. If it's not to their benefit, they won't do shit, no matter if she's an innocently convicted lady or not. They don't do anything. It's not their job. They don't care. So anyone who will tell you the feds will solve this, no, they won't. No, they won't. It's amazing how many grieving parents were not around when their child was alive, only to suddenly claim how much their child was an irreplaceable part of their life. I have a very, very... Maybe I shouldn't tell that on international YouTube. No, probably shouldn't. Let's just say I had a childhood friend, and he was a really good friend. We had a lot of similarities in our lives, and he might have been a little more of a bad boy than I was. And he might have had some conflicts with one of his parents. And sadly, he didn't make it home from a deployment. And oh my God, the circus, that parent who didn't really care that much. They instantly changed how they saw that person, which is horrible, because I remember when he was alive, and let's just say it wasn't quite the same. And someone couldn't really stand that he had a wife and a daughter, and they got the spotlight, because they were not the one who were allowed to grieve over him passing. But yeah, that's horrible. Horrible. Well, I didn't mention any names. The new U.S. attorney from Massachusetts don't appear to have any interest in the case. She hasn't made any statements about it anyway. Well, the old one didn't either. Because do you know what the U.S. attorney doesn't do? Tell you he's coming for you. He'll tell you that he caught you, but he won't tell you, hey, I'm really interested in Wicked Psych. She has some weird transactions on her credit cards that we are very interested in looking into. So I'm not saying that we're pursuing anything against her, but keep an eye out. It might be coming up. That's not how the justice system works. They will come when they come, and they will talk when they talk. I'm afraid if they call Lucky as an example, that they will call Julie Nagel testifying that she saw a black blob in the yard in rebuttal, or other people that will debunk it. Well, they can't debunk it, because that'll be a statement against statement. If Julie Nagel comes up to say, I saw a black blob, you will also have people wondering, why didn't Julie Nagel be called on direct to testify about the black blob? Second of all, you will have that constant line going through every witness. Why didn't you tell this till that much later? Because she didn't remember the black blob till last trial. So this is, I'm not afraid of. The only rebuttal witnesses I would be afraid of is anyone with some specialized knowledge. And with the ones they have shown us so far, I wouldn't be that worried, because they have some really, really bad witnesses doing the technical stuff, is what I'm trying to say. Hey, Nina Canadian. I don't think that Karen has had the time to grieve. That'll come later, and that will probably, sadly, turn into I don't think she'll remember him fondly because of what she was put through him, which is kind of sad, because he had nothing to do with it. Yeah, John wasn't on talking terms with Peggy, and Karen also lost someone she cared about. Yeah, and they forgot that part. Unless you're running for the New York Attorney General, then you tell everyone you're going to go after certain people to find anything you can and bankrupt them. Every time there's an election, they will tell you who they're going to destroy, who they're going to fix, and how they absolutely won't charge you for it. It's politics. Doesn't matter. Almost 20 others didn't see a black blob, so the body was only there after at least 1:30. Well, I don't believe she saw a black blob. I'm always, after I heard that, I can't remember her name, the one with the big face, the big lower face. I think she was a nurse. When she said that we were the only Nutmeg Alberts at the party now, that was such a weird statement that I feel like she wanted to get out there to try and imply something, but now I'm just speculating. I just say, well, her horoscope and her body language. I can't prove it. I just thought that was a weird sentence to use. We were the only nut from the clan, especially when we know how this clan works, how it sticks together. That was such a Sarah Levinson. Yeah, that was a weird one. Hey, Sword Girl, how are you doing? Plot twist: Higgins was Karen's hitman. I would have had a better one. All her memories are tainted. Yes. First of all, they are tainted by time and hatred. Second of all, they're tainted by his family, which is sad. Well, she had a because we were talking about how Mr. Wolf has that Habsburg jaw. He has just a flat, and she had a right a pronounced lower face. I bet you they could have wonderful babies together. Hey, Money G. She may believe she saw a blob. Everyone was drunk. No one is very reliable witnesses. Well, again, then we can go into the whole how much did you have to drink? How long ago was it? It's not that. She's not reliable because she never mentioned it before. Again, I've been doing this for 14 years. We have this thing when you are questioned and you say, I don't know, I can't remember. Then they will ask, can we ask from the police report, or if the police had an interview with you? Then they will read it back and say, oh, on this day you say that you saw a yellow car with two men in it. Do you remember saying that? Because they can kind of try and jump the memory, and it's also a way so we know kind of why they're asking it, because they have said it before. And some people say, "Oh yeah, that's right. Now you say it, I remember." And other people say, "I don't know." But it's always a problem to me when you remember things that you didn't remember back then, especially 3 years later. When your memory gets better with time, it's because you are lying, in my opinion, because your memory will get worse. You won't remember clear as day if she said, I hit him, or I hit him, or did I hit him? You don't remember that, especially after being online constantly fighting this trial against Aiden, where you are sitting there, I'm taking you to court. You just put in your head what you want to say. No one remembers anything better 3 years later. It's a stupid. Oh, well, women do, but only if it's the husband and he did something they didn't like. They can remember that word for word. I found the Koliakakas. They weren't there. They didn't go to Fairview, right? They went home from the bar. Higgins wouldn't even screw her when he begged, and you think he would kill for her. I think it was a joke. Maybe they saw a Black Betty. Wham bam. Black Betty. Wham lamb. Apparently that music video cost $75K, and most of it went to weed. Just a thought. I think it was closer to 4 a.m. when they put John O'Keefe outside. That's why Jen McCabe wanted Karen to go back to John's house first before 34 Fairview by time. Body temperature is a big problem for me as well. 80 degrees after being outside that long. Elephants never forget. That's why I have an elephant tattooed on my arm. Margaret has a gem from both trials saying word for word, same words. Oh, I haven't seen that one. But he's good at getting stuff like that. I just put it up here and try and remember it. Maybe next to Lucky, we will also hear from Haggerty, the tow truck driver. He already said on radio he didn't see damage to the Lexus. There's something weird with that Haggerty. I don't know what it. Didn't Aiden talk to him or someone, and he didn't want to testify? This is where I just put things up here and it doesn't come back to me. There was something going on. What was it? Was it him who didn't want to testify, or was it Beatty? One of these people said they didn't want to testify. Oh, that was Vanders, the body shop owner. Yeah, that's one. I think that's the surprise from this trial. Is the car guy was at the house. Why should a car guy be there? We know no one saw any damage to John's car. Who's the car guy? Why does he come to a house filled with grieving people? The tow truck driver might say whatever the prosecution wants him to say if he wants to stay on the list of tow drivers called for tows. Yeah, but if he would do that, they had called him and made him do that, I think. Because they didn't bring him in the first trial, they didn't bring him in the second trial, they didn't bring back that guy from Dedden. That's quite interesting. The guy who said, I cracked tail light, who saw the car before it was loaded. I thought that was really interesting that they didn't bring him back. It really shows you that they don't want people saying the wrong stuff. And every expert witness they have said all the wrong stuff. Not consistent with being struck by a car. Consistent with a slip and fall. The hair could be anyone from from Peck's family. The glass didn't match. Undetermined how he passed away. Everyone has a professional, except the cops, a professional reputation on the line. None of them have said anything that has been 100% damning for the defense, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't say he got it repaired the same day. This is the thing. Jen McCabe, was Jen McCabe who said the car guy, or was it Peck? That was on the same day it happened, or the day after. The 29th or the 30th, when they went to the house, the car guy was there. And that was such a weird thing. Why would a car guy, especially, remember, it's a blizzard. Why would a car guy come out to fix a car that wasn't injured or dented? And again, you could say, well, maybe he knew them. You don't call someone you know the car guy. You can call him Jimmy the mechanic, but you don't call him the car guy, because that's not someone you knows. I know that there's a few people out there that allegedly have spoken, but they didn't give an affidavit, and they won't talk in court. So it's gonna be hard. Might have. I don't know which one of them. Plunge you out a dent. Yeah, that's what I would be thinking, especially because you saw the ring videos. They moved the car around. Why would you move his car that day? Everyone must have had their own cars when they arrived. Why would you move John's car around? Yes, he passed away. Yes, it shouldn't just be there. Why are you moving John's car the day after he was murdered? It was not to get it out of the way so you could have easier access to the house. No, because they pulled it up right in front of the garage, so it was actually more of a nuisance. Why? That's one of those things when you see the video, you're thinking, why the hell are they moving his car that morning? Doesn't make sense, because no one lived there. So everyone must have come in their own cars. Why did they feel that they needed to drive around in his car? Well, maybe they wanted to move the niece and the nephew. It wasn't kids. They could sit in the backseat. It's not like if I'm taking baby Baker somewhere, I need to have his car seat. These were kids that was big enough to just sit with a normal buckle. Why would you be moving John's car on the same day he passed away? I have no idea why that should be necessary in any way. And they didn't even move inside the garage. No, they parked it kind of in front. The only piece of evidence that hasn't been debunked and worries me is the plastic in his clothes. They need to straighten that out. But again, we have that crime scene investigator saying, I don't know where it came from. They have to highlight it, yes, but microscopic plastic so small you need a microscope to see it. What, if any, does it prove? It's especially in clothes that's been stored without custody. You have to raise a lot of reasonable doubt about it. I agree with that, but I don't. At the same time, I'm not sure how you can say, because there's no one who said that the holes in his shirt was made by the plastic. Remember, we haven't heard the Commonwealth mention once how the injuries happened to John O'Keefe's arm. Not one time. 21 days in, potentially 1-2 days left of the state's case. We don't have anyone trying to explain how John O'Keefe's arm was scratched. Not a one. Quite interesting. Yeah, they haven't fought hard enough to point it out. Do you think she will fight on if it's a hung jury, or what do you think it'll happen if it's another hung jury? I don't believe that Massachusetts will try her a third time if it's a hung jury, because they tried twice now. They couldn't get it. A trial will never get better the second time around, and it absolutely won't get better the third time around. The only thing you can say is, hey, will she get the same dream team? But I don't think with the evidence that you have now that they have already prepared, you don't need the same dream team. You need a good orator. Sadly, Rosemary Scapiccio isn't available, or else I would have loved to see her on this team, even though she's. Did she represent Jen? I think, was it Jen? Maybe Jen. Yeah, I can't remember, but I loved her. She was a bulldog. Not to mention those graphs of the plastic pieces from the spectrometer or whatever did not match. Yeah, I would have liked to have an overlay laid over and said, you said it's the same, but do you see the difference here? But they didn't do it, so yeah, I don't think they're gonna. It's not something that they believe the jury will hang on to. Apparently, Massachusetts notoriously goes for third and fourth trial with hung juries. The only one I've seen is the Karen Rintala, but she got convicted and then had it overturned. But she got convicted on her third trial. No, I know you're not saying, but again, is your sister at this point believing that she drove her? Yeah, well, we don't know how she did it because that hasn't been mentioned. Other than opening statements, no one has mentioned how John died. But do your sister believe that she killed John because there's plastic fragments there? When no one has told you or us that she hit his arm, that's I hate juries are stupid. So yes, it could have happened that they believe that that because juries will look for anything when they get back there, and Hank knows that as a defense lawyer. That's why he has never made a concrete timeline of what happened. I think he's trying to just get this guy Velcher on the stand and then do his spiel and let it stand for everything and send the jury home with that and say, hopefully they don't think about that no one else backed this up. But I'm not sure that they can beat Alessi. I just have that I have this little worry that, yeah. Hey, Bri Bear. She keeps bringing that up. It's a weird thing to get stuck on, but I know juries are stupid. Sorry, not that I'm saying your sister's stupid, but generally, juries get hung up on something that's stupid. Kind of like in the first trial, well, she must be guilty because she was drinking. But all the evidence, I don't care about the evidence. But don't care. She was drinking. And this time you have all the video clips and you don't have that timeline. So, yeah, if the jury was fair, they should find her not guilty before they even put on a defense. But juries are dumb. Hank is saving a lot for rebuttal. But I don't think he can bring a lot for rebuttal because if he brings them in, then the defense is going to kill them. There's a reason why he didn't bring in Scotty Bello because she was pretty good at telling you what it was. There's a reason why he hasn't brought in many of the McAlberts. And I think it's a good thing because I would actually have brought in a lot of the McAlberts because we know from the first trial the jury didn't give 2 Fs about the third-party culprit. I would actually have as the state, I would have put all my pressure on having every one of the McAlberts, have them lie their face off because, hey, I'm the one pushing perjury charges. You're not going to catch a perjury charge in this courtroom. Just have them talk about that night. Spend 3 weeks with all the McAlberts talking about what happened, what they drank, what clothes they was wearing, and then F off. Because the jury will sit there and say, why the hell are we wasting time of this? Oh, it's the defense who keeps asking dumb questions. I actually think, kind of like I answered Andrea Burkhardt yesterday, Hank will tank because he seems like he's tanking sometimes. Thank you, Paula. I know we will have fun. Maybe not as much at Dollywood because that's a lot of walking, but it'll be nice to talk to people. She think they all covered up the car accident, but then the McAlberts wanted to tell the truth. Yes, I wouldn't even say let her watch us and we can discuss it. Maybe she needs to go to Plevin. Even that I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Yes, they got hung up on her being drunk. That's what they got hung up on. They didn't care anything about the third-party culprit. The horse long to die in the cold, you could have chucked it out of the window. Didn't matter at all. She was drunk. We know she didn't hit him because there was no injuries, but she was drunk. So is she guilty? That's what I kind of gathered from that guy who went on with Aiden. But that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah, they thought Arca was from her insurance company. Let's just say they weren't... they did what they could with what they had. Yeah, I think you can say that. But it's 5 o'clock. I think I'm gonna go make myself some tortilla wraps and enjoy a peaceful night at the couch. I might try and see if I can find something to do tomorrow. Normally, when we have these big days off where people might be a little bit lonely and need someone to talk to, I might try and do some streaming. I can see Mo has one set up, but she's a little on and off with the leg. So if not, I might build a Lego or talk about how Valhalla is a bad dancer. But are you coming to Dollywood? 10% said yes out of 133 votes. So that's 13 people in chat. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you. I will be hopefully getting some stickers I can give out as a little momentum of the Knoxville Meetup 2025. And after what Dollywood, try to get to Cincinnati Zoo. Isn't that a little further away? I don't know. I appreciate that about you. Well, thank you so much. Well, it's kind of a thing I started doing. There's no actual evidence that she was drunk. She admitted to drinking. Well, they can't prove. No, she admitted it. Doesn't matter. Well, they heard it from her own mouth. She was drunk. She said she had 6 drinks. Doesn't matter. The jury will hear her say, yes, I was drinking. She's drunk. But the evidence, it's not about evidence. Trial is not about law. Trial is about how the jury feels at that point in their stomach. They will say she was drunk. Well, I'm not going to Dollywood now. I'm back next week. Relax all. But thank you so much for spending a Sunday Slap A stream with me. And maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday.
Yes, I did examine his.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no,
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
probably did. Everybody has.